planning it all day. I actually had the opportunity to do this call with a bunch of other coaches in the network as well, and they thought that it was really, really valuable information. So I'm hoping that you guys will feel the same way. So I'm going to be sort of talking about branding, finding your avatar, everything social media related tonight. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about is why I need to do this. So it might seem like a really obvious thing, right? Like we work on social media and we obviously need to attract people we like to join our team and everything like that. But why would we need to do this? But it's because this is what's going to take your business to the next level. So maybe you're sitting there wondering, because if you're anything like me, this is what I was sitting and wondering when I was a new coach. Why are the top coaches so successful? Why are there people on our team that are successful? Why do some people fill their challenge groups and other people are not having great luck? Why do people have really successful ads when they're doing Facebook advertising and some people don't? And it's because, I'm telling you 100%, it's because of this, what we're going to be talking about tonight. So if everyone could please take out their notebooks and their pencils and their pens and whatever you need to take notes. If you're taking notes on your computer, whatever it is, I'm going to give you a second to grab it because it's going to be really important for tonight's call. I'm not kidding you. I spent the entire day working on this myself and perfecting it so that I could tell you guys about it. So I'll give you a second to grab that while I grab my computer. I'm going to log in from two places because I just realized I have to share my screen with you. Wasn't expecting. Okay, so I'm going to have to leave. I don't know how I'm going to show you this. I logged in from the wrong computer. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started. So basically, what is, well, hold on. I'm going to see if I can log in from the right computer. Just so I can share my screen with you guys. All right, so thumbs up if you guys can hear me. All right, good. All right, sorry for the chaos. I just made some stuff earlier today. Like I was saying, I spent a lot of time working on this myself. It's something that we learned at Platinum Edge, and I applied it to my business because although I thought I was doing everything that I needed to be doing to attract people like me to my business, there's always something that you can be doing more. So I applied what Michelle Myers spoke about at the Platinum Edge, and that is what I'm going to be talking to you guys about today. So branding yourself and talking to your avatar on your social media. So like I said, it's going to be what sets you apart from everyone else in the business. I love this quote that she said at the beginning of her presentation. She said, the only thing that you can offer your customers that other coaches can't is you. And it's so true because people are so afraid that if they focus in too much or they only talk about one certain thing, or, you know, basically they're worried that if they brand themselves in a certain way, they're going to be counting people out who should be who they think they could be reaching. But the thing is here, you guys, is that you should be counting people out. You should be counting out the people who aren't like you, that you can't relate to. And it's a really hard pill to swallow when you're first starting as a coach because you want to help anybody. You'll sign anybody up as a coach on your team. And it usually doesn't work out that well if these people aren't like you, not people that you can just talk to, you can conversate with. I think about it this way, like when I'm at my team dinners, like, can I sit, can I talk with my coaches, or are they people that I can't relate to at all? And that's what this is going to be all about. So when you're thinking about finding your avatar for social media, you want to know everything about them. And thankfully, Facebook is really on top of their game, and they know everything about us. So it makes it a little bit easier. Scary, but true. You want to know what they like, what they don't like. What pages are they following on Facebook? Who are the celebrities that they like to follow? What kind of TV shows do they like to watch? Where do they like to shop? What problems do they have that you can help them with, right? These are really important things that you need to be thinking about when you're thinking about the people that you're going to be speaking to on your, for most of us, it's going to be on our like page, because if you don't have a like page, you should definitely think about creating one. Maybe if you're a new coach, you're not there yet, but it should definitely be on your radar. So when you're making posts every day, you should be speaking directly to this person that we're going to start talking about in a couple minutes here. You should be speaking to them in a way that they get you. They read your post and they're like, yes, I get her. Like, I understand what she's talking about. I've been through what she's been through, or similar things. I like the things that she likes. Because doing this is going to help build trust. And that's something that's really hard to do over social media, but that's what we're here to do, is to build trust with people who we don't know. Because eventually you won't be able to just work with the people who you know, your warm market. You're going to have to reach out to your cold market. And that's where this stuff is going to come into play. And that's why this is so important. So, okay. I'm going to lead you through, guide you through the exercise that Michelle Myers did at the Platinum Edge. So anybody who was not at the Platinum Edge, which is, I'm guessing, a lot of you, this is like gold. So get your pens and your papers. I'm going to be leading you through an exercise where I ask you some questions and I ask you to write down some things. And this is going to be profiling who your avatar is. And so your avatar is basically like the person that you should be, like I said, speaking to and talking to in your posts, and hoping to encourage and hopefully join your team. I mean, ultimately that's the goal here, right? We get people to sign up in our challenge groups and we help them, and then we grow our team and we get more barbells on the team. So, all right. So the first thing, I have 9 questions that I'm going to ask you. And for each one, I'm going to ask you to write something down. So the first thing that I'm going to ask you is, what do you like to read? So the first question I'm asking you is what some things that you like to read. So maybe it's certain types of books, fiction, nonfiction. Maybe you like to read magazines. Maybe you like to read horror stories. Is there a certain genre that you like to read, or a certain type of print? Maybe you like to read online, or you like to read paper books because you like to highlight, or you like to read articles, journal articles, scientific stuff about teaching, stuff about fitness. What are the things that you like to read? So take a second and write down those things right now. For me, I hate reading books, you know. I really do. Shorter articles, magazines, things like that are what works for me, but everybody's different. And this is really important when thinking about your avatar, because what you're writing should be speaking to what people like to read, right? If you don't like to read a lot, you shouldn't be typing a lot. All right. So that was question number 1. What do you like to read? Question number 2. What are your hobbies? What are your hobbies? So what do you like to do in your free time? And this could be anything that you do. Do you like to vacation? Do you like to swim if it's nice out? Do you like to go hiking? Do you like to hang out with friends? So what are your hobbies? And for each of these questions, I'm just having you list a couple of things. You don't have to list 15 things for each category, just a couple of things. So question number 3, What are you asked about the most? So when people are asking you questions about your life, about school, about work, about anything that has to do with you, what are you asked about the most? So when I was doing this, I realized that people asked me a lot about time management. People were wondering like how are you a busy mom and a student and still making your business work? So for everybody, it's going to be different as it is for all these questions, but what are you asked about the most? Question number 3. Okay. So I'm going to move on to question number 4 now. So question number 4 is going to be list 5 words that describe who you are as a person. So what I mean by this is who are you? For me, I'm a mom. I'm engaged, so I will be a wife. I'm a teacher. I'm a licensed teacher. Are you a fitness instructor? Are you a sister? Are you a friend? Are you what are you? What do you do? Are you a manager? Who are you? What are you as a person? And list 5 words that describe who you are. All right. So question number 5. What do people think is most memorable about you? So you meet people, right, every day in your life, and they leave you and they go and they talk to other people about you, of course, because that's just who we are as humans. What do people think is the most memorable thing about you? Are you funny? Are you positive or happy? Are you encouraging? Are you the motivator of the group? Who are you in your group of friends and with people that you know? List some things that people might think are you the fashionable one? What's going to be most memorable about you? So the next one I really liked. This is number 6. If you had a superpower, what would it be? And she made note, and I'll make note to you guys as well, that this should not be like, I would fly, I'd be invisible, because those things they're not relevant here. So me, it would be like, to be organized. If I had a superpower, I would be organized, or I'd be consistent, or I'd be strong. I'd have muscles. So what are some things that you would have for a superpower if you would have one? Again, nothing like being invisible or flying or being teleportation, nothing like that. But things like consistency and strength and courage, things like that. All right, so that was number 6. If you had a superpower, what would it be? Number 7 is going to be, what did you enjoy doing when you were 10 years old? Okay, so think back to your 10-year-old self. What did you like to do? And this was crazy for me, right? I mean, for all of you guys, I think it would be the same. I mean, when you were 10, you didn't like to do a lot of the things that you like to do now, or do you? That's the interesting thing, right? So I wrote down that I liked to dance when I was 10 years old. Do I still like to dance now? You betcha. I was probably better when I was 10 than I am now, but I still like to do it. I liked meeting people when I was 10 years old, and still like meeting people now. So I think her point here is that you should always be true to your 10-year-old self. We're not 10 anymore. But the things that you liked at your purest point in life when you were 10 years old, you should be true to those things, because those things made you happy. And those are the things that made you who you are today. I think you need to be bland or PC or whatever it is. Everyone was different when they were 10 years old. And I know it takes a little bit a thought to think back to when you were 10, but it's really important. And it was a really unique thing that I was not expecting her to say. So that was number 7. What did you enjoy when you doing when you were 10 years old? Number 8. Number 8 is put 5 stars by number 8, because number 8 is like so important. Number 8 is, what message needs to get out more than you need to make money? We all want to make money here, right? We're here. This is a business. Sometimes I think we forget that. This is a business and we do need to make money along the way. And we're helping people along the way, and it's a really fulfilling business that we get to make money in. But there's a message that needs to get out from each and every one of us. And in the next portion of this, I'm going to dive a little bit deeper into this also when I show you my avatar stuff. But there's a message that each and every one of us has based on things that we've been through in our life. Okay? So each of us has a unique message. So what's the message that you have that needs to get out more than you need to make money? For me, it was the message of mental health and being mentally healthy, because depression and anxiety are something that I've struggled with my whole life, right? Being strong from the inside out, that is a big message that I want to get out more than I want to make money. Overcoming obstacles, so being a busy person, student, mom, everything like that, there's obstacles. Overcoming obstacles, that's another message that needs to get out more than I need to make money, right? Because sometimes I think we focus too much on making the money and the challenge pack sales and everything like that. And this, again, I'll talk about later. But there's a message that you need to continuously be putting out more than you need to make money. So that's number 8. And the last one here is going to be number 9. What do you hope is said about you when you're not there? What are people saying about you? What kind of person are they saying that you are? What qualities are they saying that you have that they like? What do you hope is said about you when you're not there? So powerful, right? All right. So while you guys are finishing that up, we're going to be transitioning into a different part of this call, and we're going to be talking more about your brand and your story and making yourself unique and making yourself stand out on social media. I'm not drinking fruit punch, as Cole asked me. It's a white Zin that's not white. It's pink. I don't know why. All right. So your brand should tell a story. And this is, and I was talking to Abby about this while I was planning out this call earlier today. It's like a, well, duh kind of thing, right? Like your brand should tell a story. Like, okay, obviously. But when she said it, I was just like, wow, like that's so profound, right? So here's the basic storyline that every brand must tell. And if you're excited by things easily like me, you're gonna think this is exciting because it's something that's so simple but yet so smart. So the basic storyline that every brand must tell. Here are the points. First point, there's a character. Okay? There is a character in your story. The character, point number 2, the character has a problem. And I hope that throughout this you guys can connect the dots here, so why this applies to our business. Third point is the character finds a guide. The guide may or may not be you, just saying. The next point is the guide provides a solution. Might be a challenge group, might be the coaching opportunity. And the last point is the guide motivates the character to take action. That would be the sealing the deal point here, right? So I'll go through them one more time. So the first thing is there's a character. It's point number 1. Point number 2 is a character has a problem. Point number 3, the character finds a guide. Number 4, the guide provides a solution. And number 5, the guide motivates the character to take action, aka joining us, right? All right. So after that, this is going to be the great learning point of this call. And so it's going to be the 5 mistakes that people make on social media. And this is what I've heard, and this is what I thought at the Platinum Edge when she said it, was the golden piece of this presentation. And when I presented it to my mastermind call, they thought the exact same thing. They were just like, wow, we need to tell this to our teams. And I'm having my assistant make a graphic about this. Like, this is huge. The 5 mistakes that people make on social media, right? You guys are going to love this. So I'm going to get into it now. The first mistake that you can make on social media is making yourself the hero of the story, okay? Right. First mistake you can make is making yourself the hero of the story. So you're not the hero of this story, the story we just talked about, where there's this whole storyline where there's a character, there's a problem, there's a guide. You're the guide. You're not the character, and you are not the hero of the story. The hero is your challenger or your customer or your new coach. They're the hero of the story. You're the guide on their story. You are not the hero of the story. You're here to elevate others' success, not your success. You're not here to toot your own horn and talk about how great you are as a coach and how lucky people should be on your team. Like, yes, people should be really lucky to be on your team because we're part of a really great team, but you're here to elevate others, right? And make everything seem obtainable. So are you talking about things? Are you talking about results and coach success in a way that other people think that it's obtainable? Or are you making it seem like it's unobtainable, right? You have to be some super motivated and fit-driven person to be in our challenge groups and have success and be a part of our team. Or can everyday people with everyday problems be a part of our team, right? You're not the hero of the story. Your coaches and your challengers are the hero of the story. That's mistake number 1. So mistake number 2 is clarity. Really simple here. Mistake number 2 is clarity. So what do I mean by that? Well, how hard is it for your customer to know what it is that you do? If people visit your page, do they know what it is that you do? And of course, this does not mean being salesy, but are you being clear about what it is? In your posts, are you describing the coaching opportunity, the challenge group opportunity? Are you describing that in your posts in a way that it's clear that when people come to you, they know what they're getting? How targeted is your marketing? And again, this goes back to everything that we just talked about in the first portion of this, where I had you answer these questions, right? So these questions that I asked you in the beginning of the call are to help you think about how you can target your marketing to your perfect avatar. So you want to attract people who are like you, right? You should, if you don't. You should not want to just attract anybody off the street to your team. When you begin as a coach, like I said earlier, that's what happens. You want to attract anybody, and that's great. Sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't work out. But you should not want to just attract anybody off the street. You should be clear about what you're saying and how you're saying it. And the stuff that we talked about in the beginning of the call is going to help you think about that. And I'm going to show you how I did that with visuals in a minute. So clarity. So you need to be focused and specific, because what she said is that a brand that tries to satisfy everyone satisfies no one. And that is so true. If you're trying to speak to everyone or too large of an audience, you're never going to satisfy anyone. And when you start talking to the one person, like I said, you know, like this person should feel like they get you, that they're your best friend, that they're like your sister, that they've known you for years. That's how people should feel. Because if you're trying to satisfy too many people, you're just spreading yourself too thin and nobody's going to be able to connect to you. And that's what the most successful people in this business have, is clarity. All right, so mistake number 3. This is also really profound for me because, again, it's obvious, but I think it's something we all need to think about more. So mistake number 3 is selling to external problems, right? All right, we all know people that sell to external problems, right? The second you post about some ailment you have or some problem you're having, those people that message you, right? And they're like, hey, have you heard about my X, Y, and Z? Could really help you with your blank. I'm sure it could, right? They're selling to your external problem. I love these 2 quotes she said. She said, average businesses sell solutions to external problems. Top performing businesses sell solutions to internal problems. What is a deep-rooted problem that your challenger or your customer is having? That's what you need to speak to. So maybe you had a kid, you gained 60 pounds like me, and you've got a lot of stretch marks, right? And it's maybe not necessarily that I really care about my stretch marks, because I know that I could do a wrap and it could get rid of my stretch marks, all right? I mean, let's just say it. I could do that. But that's not my problem, right? I'm not happy with the way my body looks. And it's not because I have stretch marks. It's because I'm overweight and I'm not comfortable with the way that I look because I don't look the same as I did before. So I'm unhappy in the inside because of how I look outside. And doing a wrap is not going to fix my problem, right? I need to fix my mental attitude, my depression. I need to get that under control, which is something that I never thought I had to deal with. I lived my whole life not dealing with it. I avoided counseling my entire life, right? Why do I need to deal with that? Well, I do. And luckily, I was able to have somebody sell to internal problems that I was having, and it helped me join this business and put me where I am today. So don't sell to the external problems that people have. Think about what might have caused them to get to where they are in that point in their lives, and how can you help them with that? Fixing the internal things, because that is ultimately where people are going to have the biggest transformations. So mistake number 3, selling to external problems. Remember, the top performing businesses sell solutions to internal problems. All right. Mistake number 4, basing success on the wrong number. This is another one that hits home for a lot of us, right? I actually had somebody message me 10 minutes before the call about this. What we do is not about the number of followers that we have. It's not. And I always joke about this because I'm like, well, I have more followers than Bonnie Engel. Am I a better coach than her? I don't think so. I mean, I'm not performing like a better coach than her, right? It doesn't matter how many followers I have. It's about the number of followers who get you and who feel comfortable converting into challengers or coaches on your team, right? Of course, we want to have more people following us because we have a bigger audience that we can talk to. That's really, really, really important. But it's not what it's all about. You should be focusing on how many people you're helping every single month, and that you're connecting with those people that you're helping and really making a positive impact on their lives. It's not about the numbers, right? And that's also why it's not about the numbers on the scale. That's what we preach to our people all the time, right? Not about the numbers. Don't focus on the wrong number. Focus on the transformation that's happening and how many people you're being able to help. So that's mistake number 4, basing our success on the wrong number. Mistake number 5, which if any of you guys have heard me speak on calls in the past, you'll know why this is my love, my biggest one, my biggest mistake. Inconsistency. Right? Inconsistency. It's the biggest mistake that people make. None of this entire call matters if you're not being consistent in your business. Does that mean showing up when you're tired, when you're sick, when you don't want to, when you just want to ignore those messages in your inbox, right? Being consistent, showing up, focusing on your brand, your avatar, finding things that work for you and your business. Nothing else matters if you're not being consistent. And that's the truth. So Michelle Myers opened her presentation, this whole presentation that I just gave you, on a story where she was heading to the Platinum Edge, and she read her flight time wrong, or her flight got changed, and she wasn't paying attention. And she's super consistent, right? Like, that's what she prides herself on as part of her brand. People know what to expect when they see her. And she showed up to the airport, like, I think it was like 15 minutes before our flight, and it's a really small airport, you know. So it wasn't a huge deal. But she was like, let me through, like, let me get on. She's like, I can see my plane, like, let me on. And then she said that she was just so scared because everyone was messaging her, like, of course. How did you almost miss your flight? Like, you're the most consistent person I know. You're always on top of it. You're always scheduled, right? She's branded herself as this really consistent person. And here she almost missed her flight because she was spending time with her family before she left on vacation. And so she said, you know, people know me, right? And so maybe you're somebody who, and I just think of Abby when I think of this, right? Because if I see anything that's Star Wars or superhero related, because how do they know she likes superhero stuff? Well, because she wears superhero tanks in her workouts, right? So that's why that stuff is so important to our business. So before I show you the stuff that I made that is going to be the call to action for tonight's call, I wanted to end it with the quote that she ended the presentation with, because it's so powerful and it's so true. It's so true. Because some people are like, yeah, I'll go at it. And they're like, it's not right. You know, it's just not working out for me. Like, maybe I'll try again some other time. And she ended this presentation by saying, if you think getting started is hard, try starting over. And isn't that so true, you guys? Getting started is hard. Hell yeah, it's hard. But starting over is so much harder. So if you're showing up on these calls and you're focusing in on your avatar and you're doing the things that you need to do in your business, you're golden. Giving up and starting over is only going to hurt you. You need to keep going, keep learning, keep focusing, asking questions, and showing up. So my call to action for tonight is going to be that you guys create an image for your avatar. So I'm going to show you, I made 2 different images for my avatar. I I just really felt like I needed to recreate my avatar and really think about the things that I asked you guys to think about at the beginning of this call, right? So, what do I like to read? What are my hobbies? What am I asked most about? What are some words that describe me? What do people think about me? What's my superpower? What I like doing when I was 10? What message I need to get out, and what do I hope is said about me. So I went through this myself. I re-answered all the questions. Even though I just did it at the Platinum Edge, I did it again because you're always at a different point in your life. So I made these images, which I'm hoping you guys can all make as well. We've done it with like the dream board type stuff. So I'm going to see if I can screen share. All right, if you guys can see my screen, can you give me a thumbs up? You should be looking at my desktop. That's my dream board. I keep it as my desktop. Okay, so the first thing I made is this image of my avatar. Let me move this. Move this out of my way. So if anybody watches Teen Mom, don't laugh at me. Don't laugh at me. I used to watch Teen Mom a lot. And so I was actually sitting in my room, which is doubles as my office. I have like an office section of my room. And Cole, my fiance, walked in. He's like, "What are you doing?" Because I was Googling pretty tattooed girls. And he's like, what are you doing? Like, why are you looking that up? And I'm like, cause I'm trying to find my avatar, cause I'm like, yeah, like this is like what I'm looking for. Right. And then he was like helping me brainstorm ideas of people who might I'm just talking visuals, right? Cause the first step in creating your avatar is finding an image of a person. And, I was trying to figure that out. So he said, what about one of the teen moms, Chelsea? And I laughed because I was like, Chelsea? That's the girl who taught me on YouTube how to do my hair. And then I taught other people on YouTube how to do their hair, right? Like, she taught me how to curl my hair, you guys. Like, that's awesome. I love her, right? She's not a coach, obviously. She's a teen mom. But so I used her picture. So you should choose a picture of a person. It could be anybody. It could be a fellow coach on our team, your best friend, anybody that you think emulates your avatar, right? I mean, the picture on the left of her in the white tank and the black pants with the heels, I'm like, I pretty much wore that when we were in Texas, right? Like, she's me. And I love her. So my avatar is Chelsea Huska. She is a female. She is in the age range of 24 to 44. That's the age range that I want to target. That's my avatar. Some things that my avatar might like: dancing, fashion, hair, shopping, traveling, social outings, name brands. I had a coach on my team that you'll see a post about this later, brought me a really great Kate Spade bracelet. Multiple coaches on our team actually have given me Kate Spade things. So obviously, this is what I'm talking about. You target people who like the same things as you like. Wine, I mean, I love drinking wine. I'm not going to lie about that. Being outdoors, being in Colorado and hiking on the Diamond Retreat was like my zen. Selfies, I'm all about taking pictures of myself and me with other people. Talking, I love talking to people. I mean, anyone who's on this team that's like one of my really close friends knows I'm like texting people all the time, trying to talk to people about whatever. Just love talking. I love being in the sunshine, and I love gold. I hate silver, but I love gold, right? So then I started thinking about personal qualities of my avatar. A Christ follower. Being a Christ follower and being religious and being part of the church is really big for me. So that's obviously something that I would look for. Being outgoing. So if you take the personality color code tests, obviously I look for, I would be speaking to people that have certain colors, being funny, hardworking, friendly, potty mouth, because I swear a lot and I don't want people who are offended by swear words because I will let them slip out, and that would be bad if they were offended by them. So I use that in my posts. People are honest, loyal, sarcastic, messy, because I'm dirty as all hell, and mothers. So these things that I've listed, right? What does this mean? This means that when I'm making posts on social media, the things that I should be posting about and the way that I should be posting about them should be relating to Chelsea. They should be speaking to her. I should be talking about dancing, fashion, hair, traveling, social outings, name brands, wine, outdoors. I should be taking selfies. I should be like speaking, typing things, explaining things to people. I should be talking about church. I should be saying funny things. Maybe I swear occasionally in my posts. I'm being really honest. When I mess up, I'm being honest about it. I'm being loyal. So when I say I'm going to give people stuff, if I'm going to do free giveaways, I give that to people. I share about how messy I am. I talk about being a mom. All of these things are coming through in my posts on social media. So this is what I want you guys to create. So this is the first step in creating a profile for your avatar, is thinking about the questions I asked you and then creating something like this, finding an image of, like I said, somebody you know or somebody who you know that's like a celebrity or anybody who might look like a person that you, and this doesn't mean, you guys, this does not mean that every coach on your team, this does not mean that every coach on my team looks like Chelsea or like me. Doesn't mean that. The image is just an image to help you think about who you might attract to your team. It doesn't mean that everybody on my team likes the same things that I like, but there are definitely things about me that I can connect with people on my team with. So the next step here is to create this secondary profile, digging a little bit deeper into your avatar. So again, I use the same picture and the same name. And you should always name your avatar. If they don't have a name, if they're not a real person and they don't have a name, name them. Make up a fake name. Maybe it's the name that you want to name your kid. Who knows? So I kept Chelsea's name. And this is what I had to say about Chelsea. I said, my avatar, she's a mother. She lives a busy life. She's married or in a relationship. She dreams of a life where she can live freely, have coffee dates whenever she wants. She wants to spend more time with her family. She's in debt, and she wants to be more organized. She struggles with depression and anxiety. She is spiritual and self-driven. She craves positive feminine connections, exploration, and plans out real vacations that she wants to take. She's a visual learner. She enjoys drinking wine and watching TV, Netflix namely. Her power look is red lipstick and a furry vest. She shops at H&M, Forever 21, Kate Spade, Victoria's Secret. She loves matching outfits, heels, and purses. She enjoys dressing up, doing fun things with her hair. She has struggled with friendships in her past. And this is as far as I got in detail profiling my avatar, right? I could dig way deeper into the things that my avatar could relate to, things that she struggled with, things that she likes. This is just what I got started on. Like I said, I was just starting to work on it myself. And these are the two images that I was able to create today when thinking about my my avatar. So all of these things that she thinks and she feels. So Andrea Crowder, if any of you guys know who she is, the Misfit Republic, she calls her sister, which I love. I'm like, she's like, well, I call her my sister because I think of my coaches as my sisters, right? And that's how I talk about our team as well. I'm like, we're more than just a team. We are way more than just a team, right? We're a sisterhood. We're a tribe, right? We're more than just a team of coaches that hang out together. We love each other. We support each other. My best friends that I've had my whole entire life came from this team. We're like sisters. So I like the way that she said that. So I am going to stop screen sharing, and I am going to open this up for a conversation if people have thoughts, comments, questions. Kayla, I should make it a goal to get her on my team. She actually does CrossFit and she's super into fitness now, which she never was. She actually does have a huge weight loss transformation, which is awesome. Man, if I could tell who's got my team, I'd be a happy woman. But really, you guys, this stuff, it's so important. And it honestly is. If you want to know the secret sauce, it's finding your avatar. You can't skimp. You can't cut corners. You have to sit. It took me a couple hours today to sit down and walk myself through this exercise and create these images and really search Facebook and Google and everything like that to think, who is it that I want to talk to? And I need to make sure that that's coming through in every post that I make. And there was a coach at the Platinum Edge who, if you guys have a second here, I want you to look her up on Facebook or Instagram. She shared her Instagram because she's an Instagrammer. Her name is Angie, Angie, and her last name is, I don't know how to say it, but I'm going to spell it for you. It's Belllemare. And she talked about how she branded herself through Disney. I mean, most people would be like, well, how do you brand yourself through Disney? Well, she's like a Disney freak, right? And she wanted to use Beachbody so that she could, go to Disney more all the time. It's everything she posts about. It's like she even used like the Disney font when she posts stuff, like in her ads about coaching. And she's always posting stuff about Disney on her page. And she likes bright colors and smoothies. And she's like, I edit the crap out of my pictures and make them look super fake, but they're my smoothies and that's what people like. So she's a really great one that spoke at Platinum Edge about branding. I mean, there's so many more people that you could look at for branding and consistency, but she's just somebody who spoke on that topic and does Instagram. So maybe some of you guys are Instagrammers, you're not Facebookers. But you need to find a brand that works for you. But I also want to caution you guys, and I hope that you really listen to me when I say this. There are people who brand themselves really well in our business, right? We all look up to them. Somebody who I look up to on our team specifically is Allison Hemmer. She is like super good at branding herself and really good at images. And when I first started as a coach, was like, how do you make an image look that great? And I tried to make images look like hers. You know what I found out? Somebody else. So make sure that you're thinking about that when you make posts, that you're not being a copier. And if you're taking something off Pinterest, that's fine. I did it all the time when I was a new coach. Some people include their tags at Kelsey Winter, for Instagram or whatever it is. Delete their tags. Crop it out. Don't make sure nobody else's brand is showing through on your posts, because it just is not going to do any favors. It's directing people to go to that other person's page and see who they are. Let's see. I'm just making sure there are questions. So glad people are having aha moments. Thank you to everybody who's saying that it was a good topic to talk about. I'm so passionate about this topic. I could talk about it every single day. So if anyone has questions beyond this, please let me know. And Abby says, and to hit on that, Kelsey, too, we all have different avatars. So when you're copying other coaches' posts, you are doing your page a disservice. Their posts are made for their avatars. Yours won't connect with them. Yes, I can't copy something that Abby puts on her page and put it on mine. People are not going to relate to that. Abby and I actually had a great conversation on the airplane ride home back from Texas about, our different avatars. And Abby and I are like best friends. but it does not mean that our brands are the same. We are not posting about the same things on social media at all. So she's exactly right. And Shayla says, better yet, make your own, because cropping out a brand is still stealing. Yes, 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 Shayla. That's, people start out at different points, right? And they are naturally just going to want to take quotes from Pinterest and post them on their page. I did the same thing. You guys just, everyone does as a new coach. But what you should start thinking about doing is branding yourself. So for me, it's selfies, right? Like I love selfies. So if I have a quote that I want to post, I'm going to take a picture of myself. I'm going to put my gold foil banner with my font and my dots that I've branded myself with, right? And I'm going to post that picture on social media with the quote in either the caption on the picture or the first thing I post in the post. You don't have to take the pictures from Pinterest and post them directly on your wall. Brand yourself. Like Angie, she posts her smoothies all the time, right? Maybe however you're going to brand yourself, maybe it's a fitness pose. Some people like to do like tree pose or like to do like, I know Danielle loves fitness, so everything she posts about Danielle Unger, like her posts are always of her doing some fitness move, and she's a total badass. So you should definitely check her out if you don't follow her already. She is like always posting fitness poses with her stuff, and then posting the inspirational stuff in her posts. So you have to find what's going to work for you. You're going to be wasting time in like turning your tires for no reason if you're not finding out what your brand is. Don't try and copy what other people do. You can use people for inspiration, but don't copy other people. So I realize this isn't necessarily a topic that would have a lot of questions, and it doesn't really seem like any of you guys have any questions, so we can be done for the night. But if anyone does have any last comments, feel free to shoot them into the chat. Otherwise, I will be looking forward to seeing all of your avatar images created. I created mine in PicMonkey. Make it as big or as little as you want. I will post mine in the team page, and then everyone can post theirs below. I realize it might take you a day or so to make yours, but I'm really excited to see what you guys come up with, because it's just such a unique thing that we can really target in our avatars. And if you're not part of the training that Alexis and I do with Jessie, we're doing another one in January. So if you can master this avatar thing before you even start the training in January, it's going to be huge for you. It's going to be huge because you can just run with it right starting off. You won't even have to take the time during the training to create your avatar. You can do it now. So, which is in turn going to take your business to the next level. You're going to be recruiting coaches and challengers like a crazy person, and it's going to be great. So thank you all for listening and tuning in tonight, and I look forward to seeing all of your avatars. Have a good night. Bye. Yes.